We all remember the early days of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was a time when the seeds of a grand narrative were just being planted, and the excitement was palpable. It was a time of wonder and excitement. Fans flocked to theaters, eagerly anticipating each new release, and comic conventions were buzzing with energy and enthusiasm. Iron Man burst onto the scene, captivating audiences with Robert Downey Jr.'s iconic portrayal. His performance brought a depth and charisma to Tony Stark that set the tone for the entire franchise. The Avengers assembled, uniting beloved heroes in a way we had never seen before. It was a cinematic event that brought together characters from different films, creating a shared universe that felt both expansive and cohesive. The Infinity Saga, spanning multiple phases, kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Each film added layers to the overarching story, building anticipation for the ultimate showdown with Thanos. From the epic battles of Infinity War to the emotional roller coaster of Endgame, Marvel delivered cinematic experiences that resonated deeply. The stakes were high, and the emotional investment was immense. Fans around the world were hooked. The global community of Marvel enthusiasts grew, united by their love for these stories and characters. The MCU wasn't just about superheroes fighting villains. It was about exploring the complexities of these characters' lives, their struggles and their triumphs. It was about compelling characters, engaging storylines, and a shared universe that felt both vast and interconnected. Each character had their own journey, their own growth, and their own impact on the larger narrative. Each film built upon the last, expanding the mythology and deepening our investment in these characters. The continuity between films created a rich tapestry of storytelling that kept audiences coming back for more. It was a golden age for Marvel, a time of unprecedented success that redefined superhero cinema. The meticulous planning, the attention to detail, and the passion of everyone involved made the Marvel Cinematic Universe a cultural phenomenon that will be remembered for generations to come. After the culmination of the Infinity Saga, Marvel entered a new era with Phase 4. This new phase was highly anticipated by fans worldwide, who were eager to see how the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, would evolve after the epic conclusion of the previous saga. There was a sense of anticipation, a curiosity about what direction the MCU would take next. Fans speculated about new characters, potential storylines, and how the universe would expand. The excitement was palpable, with every trailer release and teaser generating buzz and discussions across social media platforms. However, as Phase 4 unfolded, a shift became noticeable. The initial excitement began to wane as the new movies and series were released. Fans and critics alike started to observe changes in the storytelling approach and overall direction of the MCU. The focus seemed to move away from the tightly woven narratives and character-driven stories that defined the earlier phases. Instead of building on the strong foundations of beloved characters, the new phase introduced a plethora of new faces and complex storylines that sometimes felt disjointed. Instead, there was a greater emphasis on quantity over quality. The MCU expanded rapidly, with a slew of new films and Disney Plus series being released in quick succession. This rapid expansion aimed to keep the audience engaged, but also led to concerns about the dilution of the brand's core essence. The MCU expanded rapidly, introducing new heroes and storylines across multiple films and Disney Plus series. While this brought fresh perspectives and introduced a new generation of heroes, it also led to a sense of fragmentation. The interconnectedness that once felt so organic began to feel forced, as if the pieces of the puzzle no longer fit together seamlessly. While this expansion brought fresh perspectives and introduced a new generation of heroes, it also led to a sense of fragmentation. The sheer volume of content made it challenging for fans to keep up with every new release, leading to a feeling of being overwhelmed by the constant influx of new material. The interconnectedness that once felt so organic began to feel forced. The intricate web of storylines that once captivated audiences now seemed to struggle under the weight of too many characters and plot lines. This shift left some fans feeling disconnected from the universe they once loved. The sheer volume of content made it challenging to maintain the same level of narrative cohesion and character development that characterized the earlier phases. Critics pointed out that the magic of the MCU lay in its ability to weave together individual stories into a larger, cohesive narrative. With Phase 4, this delicate balance seemed harder to achieve, leaving both fans and critics wondering about the future direction of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Phase 5, with its slightly reduced number of releases, offered a glimmer of hope. There was a sense that Marvel might be taking a step back to reassess its approach. However, the issues that plagued Phase 4 persisted. The storytelling felt uneven, with some projects resonating while others struggled to capture the magic of earlier MCU entries. The interconnectedness that was once a hallmark of the MCU felt strained, with connections feeling more obligatory than organic. The introduction of the multiverse, while a concept with potential, added another layer of complexity to an already crowded narrative landscape. Instead of enhancing the storytelling, it often felt like a crutch, a way to introduce cameos and fan service without necessarily serving the larger narrative. This isn't to say that the multiverse concept is inherently flawed. It has the potential to tell unique and compelling stories. However, its execution in recent MCU entries has felt somewhat haphazard, lacking the focus and precision that characterized earlier phases. Section 5. A universe too vast. One of the challenges Marvel faces is the sheer vastness of the universe it has created. With so many characters, storylines, and timelines to juggle, it's increasingly difficult to maintain a sense of focus and coherence. This vastness, once a source of excitement, has become a double-edged sword. It's challenging to balance the need to service existing characters and storylines, while also introducing new elements. This balancing act can sometimes result in stories feeling rushed or incomplete, leaving audiences wanting more. Section 6. The weight of legacy. The MCU's legacy is both a blessing and a burden. The success of the earlier phases has set a high bar, creating immense expectations for each new installment. It's challenging to live up to the hype, especially when dealing with beloved characters and established storylines. The MCU must find a way to honor its legacy while also forging its own path. It's about finding a balance between nostalgia and innovation, between satisfying longtime fans while also attracting new audiences. Section 7. Less is more. A return to quality. One solution for Marvel is simple: less is more. Instead of trying to cram as much content as possible into a year, focus on quality over quantity. Give each project the time and space it needs to breathe, to develop its characters and storylines fully. This approach might mean releasing fewer films and series, but it would allow for greater care and attention to detail. It would also give audiences time to digest and appreciate each installment fully. Section 8. Rediscovering the heart of storytelling. At its core, the MCU has always been about storytelling. It's about relatable characters facing extraordinary challenges, about hope triumphing over adversity, and about the power of shared experiences. To recapture its magic, Marvel needs to refocus on these core elements. This means crafting compelling narratives that resonate emotionally, developing characters that feel real and relatable, and building a world that feels both grounded and fantastical. It's about remembering that the heart of the MCU lies in its characters and their journeys. Section 9. Embracing the unknown. While it's important to honor the MCU's legacy, it's equally important to embrace the unknown. The MCU should not be afraid to take risks, to explore new genres and storytelling approaches. This willingness to experiment is what made the MCU so exciting in the first place. It's what allowed for unexpected successes like Guardians of the Galaxy and WandaVision. By embracing the unknown, Marvel can recapture the sense of discovery and innovation that defined its early years. Section 10. Marvel's second act. The MCU is at a crossroads. With over a decade of groundbreaking storytelling and unforgettable characters, it has captivated audiences worldwide. The choices made in the coming years will determine its future. By acknowledging its missteps, refocusing on its strengths, and embracing the unknown, Marvel can navigate this pivotal moment. Marvel can write its second act. This involves not just creating new stories, but also innovating in ways that keep the audience engaged and excited. It's not about replicating the success of the past, but about learning from it. The MCU must evolve, taking bold risks and exploring new genres and narratives, but about forging a new path forward, one that is both fresh and familiar, one that honors its legacy, respecting the foundation laid by its iconic characters and stories, while also embracing the endless possibilities of the Marvel Universe. This means introducing new heroes, exploring uncharted territories, and pushing the boundaries of what a superhero story can be. The future of the MCU remains unwritten, a blank canvas waiting to be filled with new adventures and epic tales. And it has the potential to be even more extraordinary than its past. With creativity, vision, and a commitment to excellence, Marvel's second act could redefine the superhero genre once again.